Before I get into the story, I just want to say that revenge is never the answer. Except in this story, it was. Yo, what is going on, you guys? My name's Bubba, and welcome back to an insane story. And I remember in grade 12, it was my craziest year yet. Because around this time, my body count was like in the high 80s. And I basically done a lot of the Devil's Tango. But one thing I will say is that since I did a lot of the Devil's Tango throughout high school, girls talk, and well, none of them were interested in me anymore, let's just say. So I remember I decided to take the grade 12 year and not focus on girls and focus on myself. You know, basically focus on what I want to do with my future and figure out if I was gonna be forever that guy that just did the Devil's Tango. Little did I know I was still going to be, but going on with the story though, I remember in grade 12, I decided to focus on, you know, actually becoming good friends with the guys and just, you know, focus on me and the homies. You know what I mean? Like, you know those memes where you see a person in heartbreak and you see like the boys like always supporting the guy after like, you know, they get heartbroken? That's basically what I wanted. So I remember I basically started hanging out with the guys again. Now, if you guys don't know, I had this friend group back in high school that were the boys. The boys were just a couple of crazy guys with crazy shenanigans that just kind of did their own thing. Well, not their own thing, but together as the boys. And I remember basically I ended up, you know, hanging out with them more, and it was a really good time. I'm not gonna lie to you, I always enjoyed going out with the boys and hanging out with them. It was more entertaining than me bringing a chick home and doing the Devil's Tango, which is a really big thing for me to say, by the way. But going on, I remember out of the boys, there was one person in the group that was, well, not a fan of me. And the reason for that is because, well, throughout the high school years, apparently at some moment, I did his girlfriend and I did the Devil's Tango with her and then ghosted her. Which, I mean, I don't know why he's upset about that, because he should be happy that I ghosted her, because if I didn't, well, then he would never be with her in the first place. You guys know what I mean? But he wasn't understanding that, and honestly, he kept having like these drama moments with me where he would be mean to me and stuff, and he would always pick on me in front of the guys. Now, it's normal for guys to pick on each other. It's a very normal thing. But when you pick on another person to an extent where you're bringing like, you know, bigger things into the picture, when you're crossing that line, I guess I would say, it hurts a lot more. So I remember he ended up doing that, and he always used to pick on me, crossing the borders with, you know, basically calling me like racist slur terms and stuff. And me, I wasn't cool with it. So I remember I kept telling him to like buzz off, like, you know, relax and stuff. And the thing is too, is that he kept making a fool of himself every time he made fun of me because, well, the guys all knew that it was because I ghosted his girlfriend after I did the Devil's Tango with her. So, I mean, fair enough. Anyways, going on with the story, I remember one time we were all sitting in the cafeteria. Me and the guys were just sitting there eating our Subway sandwiches and just relaxing. And then this guy ended up walking up to us, the guy that used to always pick on me, and he said, "Yo, guys, I'm having like a little party at my place. You know, it's my girlfriend's birthday. And like, honestly, like, if you guys are down, I mean, like, you guys all want to go? Because she's cool with everyone going." I remember I looked at him, and he ended up looking at me saying, "Oh yeah, Bubba, you're allowed to come too. Like, don't worry, like, she's chill with you now." "Oh, okay, cool, I'm in," is what I said afterwards, with no hesitation at all, because I didn't want him thinking that it would be weird for me as well. And then afterwards, I remember basically all the guys ended up saying yes, and basically that night we all decided to basically go home, hop on Xbox for a little bit, and then start getting ready for the party. Now, me, when I was getting ready for the party, I wasn't thinking anything of it. I was thinking I was just gonna go there, have a good time, and then just head back home and not do anything, which is really rare for me, by the way, because usually I would go home with a girl and do the Devil's Tango. But I guess that wasn't the case this time. Like I said, I wanted to focus on myself, hang out with the guys, and just have a good time. So I remember when I got to the party, I was looking really good, and I remember I walked around hanging out with everyone, drinking, and just having a good time. But I remember as the party was like going on and stuff, out of nowhere, I ended up seeing someone that I recognized. And apparently it was a girl that I actually fell in love with back when I was way younger, in grade 9. Now, if you guys don't know, yes, I had my first love back when I was in grade 9. I'm not gonna say any details about it, nothing, because obviously this girl basically was the one that I blame for becoming who I am today. I know it's kind of sad and depressing to say, but let's just say this girl was my first love ever. And to this day, I actually still love her, but honestly, I can't ever speak to her because, well, yeah, you know, it's a story for another time. Let's just put it that way. Going on though, I remember basically when I saw her at the party, I started freaking out. I'm like, why is she here? And I started hyperventilating and freaking out, which is not a normal thing for me to do, by the way, because I do a lot of different girls on the daily almost, or was doing a lot of girls on the daily almost. So seeing her there really freaked me out. And I remember as I was looking at her, she ended up seeing me and we locked eye contact. And when we locked eye contact, it was super awkward until the guy that always picked on me, that was a part of the boys, ended up seeing me looking at her and walked up to me saying, "Oh, that's my girlfriend's new friend. Honestly, like I didn't expect her to actually show up." And I ended up looking at him saying, "Oh, like why is that?" "Oh, I don't know. Apparently like she has beef with one of the guys. I don't know who, but I mean, it's whatever, I guess." And he ended up walking away, kind of smirking. At this point, I knew what this guy was doing, and honestly, it wasn't cool. Like I said, it was all right making fun of the guys, but obviously taking it to that extent where you're crossing the line is too far. I remember when I saw this though, what I ended up doing was basically drinking more and got really upset to the point where I ended up basically going upstairs to one of the bedrooms, and I ended up just sitting in his parents' bedroom, just sitting there all upset. I was sitting there upset as I was drinking more and more, and I remember I started realizing why basically being the devil's tango master has its perks, but in reality it sucks because falling in love wasn't easy anymore. But I remember as I was sitting there all upset and everything, I saw the bathroom from the parents' bedroom open up. When the door opened, I remember I saw my friend's mom that was just chilling there. She saw me and she said, "Oh, like Bubba, I'm sorry, I didn't see you in here. What are you doing here, by the way? The party's downstairs." "Oh, sorry, I didn't know anyone was here." Me kind of slurring my words a bit. "Oh, like I'm just, you know, kind of upset, but it is what it is. Sorry, I'll leave you alone though," is what I said afterwards. And I started basically heading for the door. But as I was heading for the door, I remember his mom was in a robe and basically ended up stopping me saying, "Are you all right? Like you seem off. Is everything okay? Like you can talk to me." Okay, I guess. And I ended up basically sitting back on the bed with her and I basically started ranting. I started ranting about how her son basically did the mistake of the century and basically made me feel like absolute garbage after seeing my first love downstairs. And you know, one thing led to another. I was rambling about the whole situation and she ended up saying, "I can't believe my son would do that to you." Yeah, I don't know. I guess he was just trying to mess around, or I don't know. He's just being whatever. Me trying to play it cool because at the same time, I am complaining about her son right in front of her. And then that's where things get really scary because what this mom decides to do was something I never expected. She ended up basically saying, "You want to know the best way to like, you know, get rid of those emotions?" I said, "What?" "By distracting yourself." And she ended up standing up and taking off her robe right in front of me. And one thing led to another. Well, as you guys may guessed it, we ended up doing the devil's tango. I did the devil's tango with his mom. Yeah. That's insane, by the way, can I just say? I never expected it to happen. And like I said earlier, I was expecting to go into this party not doing anything. But I ended up basically doing his mom. And one thing led to another. I remember in the middle of me and her doing it, I ended up hearing the door open saying, "Hey, mom, I have a question. What are you doing?" And basically, it was the guy that was always picking on me, seeing that I basically was doing his mom right in front of him. I did this guy's mom right in front of him. Like, can you guys imagine that? Like, imagine your friend just doing the devil's tango with your mom and you walk into that as there's a party going on downstairs for your girlfriend. That's insane. I remember when he saw that, he started basically closing the door and was really upset. And honestly, I didn't know what to do and I didn't want to go back downstairs and face everyone. So I decided to put on my clothes again. And the mom even asked me like, "Oh, like, I'm sorry. Like, I didn't expect this to happen." And I ended up telling her, "Does your window open?" I basically ended up opening up her window and jumping out of it. I jumped out of her window and just went back home. And since that day, I have not talked to any of the boys until the weekend after. And then on Monday, I remember everyone ended up walking up to me knowing what happened and ended up saying that was insane. And even the boys knew that that was the most craziest revenge you can get on a person that picks on you. Anyways, guys, that is basically it for today's story. Make sure you guys do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And like I always say, just follow for more embarrassing stories. Peace out, guys.